again, guys. So it's Saturday morning, and I've already looked at some baseball cards. So you know what I want to do now? I want to look at some more baseball cards. Let's check out the 1933 Gowdy set. As I say with all of my videos, this is one of my favorite all-time sets, but it really is. Now I have, I think, all of the big cards in this set except for the Babe Ruths. Not that I wouldn't love to own them, I would. It's just that over the years I was more enamored with the more rare Babe Ruths and the more obscure stuff. If you watch my videos, you know I like the more obscure stuff and the rarer stuff. Those 33 Babe Ruths are definitely on my want list. I mean, I want them. But I prefer to get the cards that are more rare. And over the years, I picked up some more rare Babe Ruths, and quite honestly, they were less money at the time. So we'll start off with one of his rarest cards, and this is probably his rarest card of the 20s, and that's a 1926 Spalding. This is a very rare card. These cards, they're not even fully checklisted. I think they're still trying to figure out all the cards that were in the set. This was the largest multi-sport set, I believe, ever issued. Yeah, these were kind of unknown. There were two different finds in the 90s, and that's where they found them. So these cards, very rare. And then a lot of people don't like the overseas Babe Ruths, but I do. Growing up, I always had a fascination with the world. I studied international business in college. I took 4 semesters of Japanese, and I've traveled all over, and I've always appreciated the overseas issues. And this 1932 Abdullah, I mean, I just loved this card from the first time I saw it. And it's a beautiful Babe Ruth card. But it's an overseas issue. And this 33 Imports, this is a pretty rare card. This whole set is rare. I actually like to get some more of these. The Jimmy Fox in this set is beautiful. I love it. They're cartoony images. Believe they were made over in Japan. But these cards are tough. You know, back in the day, I believe SGC for cutouts would only grade them authentic. I think they assign them a grade now. So I don't know if I should send this back in. That's what somebody told me anyway. So I believe this is an older graded one when at the time they only graded it authentic, because these are cutouts. A lot of times you'll see them with more of the white around them, and whoever cut this cut it tight around the image. But it's it's just in beautiful condition. I have yet to find a nicer conditioned one. And then this is an old Gowdy Premium, and I believe this is from 1934, and these were stand-ups. And a lot of people would, tack them on to a board or something onto the wall. But I mean, this thing's just beautiful. You find these pretty beat up usually. Aside from, these little tag holes, this thing is a beautiful card. I mean, the image is just great on it. So how cool are these stand-ups? So, that all said, let me move on to my 1933 Gowdies. Like I said, I think I have all the other big cards in the set, I believe. So I have the Lou Gehrig. And if you don't know this, you know how they had multiple cards for certain players? They actually had 2 different card numbers for Lou Gehrig, but it was the exact same image. And, if you're like me, I didn't even know that until more recently. I never really thought about it, or I wasn't aware of it, but it's kind of weird that they had 2 different card numbers. So if you want to complete the set, you actually have to get 2 Lou Gehrigs that look exactly the same. We have Lefty Grove. I have a Jimmy Fox here. This is a 1.5, but I mean, look at this thing. There's no creases on it. It's really a nice card for a 1.5. One of my favorite all-time cards, the Sideways Rogers Hornsby. Such a great player. He doesn't get enough hobby love either. Now, this is a worldwide gum version. These were issued in Canada, and they're definitely more rare. That's Tony Lazzeri. Billy Herman. This card's hard to find. I went searching for one. There weren't a lot of options, but I really like this one. Bill Terry. Jim Bottomley. The classic image here. Come on, look at his hat on sideways. Gotta love that card. Lefty Gomez. When I was young, I stumbled upon a guy that had a handful of these, and they were, you know, in lesser condition. But at the time, I didn't have any 33 Goudeys, and I gobbled them up. So some of them are in lower grade, and I wouldn't mind upgrading them. So this is the Eddie Collins. I just love the image on this card. These 33 Goudeys, they're just cool cards. I can't imagine what it was like back then. This is one of my more beat up ones. That's Lloyd Wainer. I can't imagine what it was like to open these out of a pack back in the day. Leo DeRocher. Got the other Rogers Hornsby. Bill Dickey. Tris Speaker. Hack Wilson. Burley Grimes. George Grantham. He has very few cards, so it's a nice one to get. Joe Cronin. Here's the other version of the Joe Cronin. Babe Herman. Red Lucas. Lefty O'Doul. Rabbit Moranville. He just looks like a mean dude in this card, doesn't he? Red Ruffing. Ethan Allen. He actually invented a baseball board game way back in the day. Rick Farrell. He was a catcher and his brother Wes was a pitcher. Furpo Marbury. This guy retroactively is considered like the first big save guy. Apparently, when I went back into the numbers, he led the league in saves like 5 or 6 years. He was, I guess, the first dominant closer. I know Elroy Face is considered to be like the first specialist, closer specialist, I think. My dad always jokes around that he used to, you know, when he would come in, he would give up runs, and then he would end up winning the game, and he ended up with a lot of wins. Adam Komorski, Frank Cressetti, run through these last few here. This guy, he was known, they used him for a pinch runner a lot. He was really fast and a good base stealer. He was one of those just utility players. Now, I got this Arky Vaughan, and I did not realize or ever notice until recently. I don't know, I had it under the light, and somebody drew on a sideburn, so I have to replace this one. I just found it kind of funny. Some kid drew on a sideburn there, if you could see that. When I had it under the light and I tilted it, I could tell there was ink on it. I'm like, what is going on? So that was disappointing to learn. I don't like my cards altered, but I mean, I don't mind a little writing on the back once in a while, if it's a rare card and hard to find, but he gave up Babe Ruth's 60th in 1927, Tom Zachary. is a cool looking card. And that's my last one. As always, thanks for watching.